What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Um, so today's video is gonna be something different. Um, One of my subscribers had talked to me on IG, and it was his idea that I talk on this subject, that I give my view. Now, before I get into this video, um, I want to remind people, those of you that have been with me on the big channel, and those of you that started following me from the second channel, you guys already know my history. Now, for those of you that don't, those of you that maybe for once YouTube will push my video to someone new, I'm not a scholar. I didn't go through university and get degrees and all this. What I am is I'm an ex gang member, I'm an ex convict. I'm someone who has life experiences that are not so called average. And I gained a view of the world based off of my life experiences. Um, I'm very concerned about what is going on in the world. And that's why when this was brought to my attention, not brought to my attention, when it was suggested that I speak on this thing, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I don't really expect to get a lot of views from this, but um, it's a topic worth discussing. So I was asked, why don't you speak on what's going on with China and Russia? And I have done so in the past. And my channel has suffered because of it. But it's something that's so important to us all, every one of us. I don't care what political party you think is the right one. I think at the end of the day, you love your country, you love your family, you should love yourself. And if you do, then we can't keep letting the mainstream media uh, dictate what we should think and what we should accept. So it seems like recently, um, this administration is gearing up for a confrontation with China and possibly Russia. Okay, two nuclear powers, one economic as well as nuclear power, as far as China. Neither one of those countries wants beef, wants war with the United States and whatever allies will be willing to stick around if that really happens. Um, Economic war, absolutely. Cold war, absolutely. Shooting war, nobody wants that. Nobody in their right mind wants that when you're dealing with countries that have nuclear capabilities. I think there's a small number of people. I know there's a small number of people in high places who are never going to step near a battlefield, um, that have an agenda that is beneficial to themselves, their family, and future generations of their family. And it's not beneficial for us. Now, I've said this in a few videos, few lives actually. I don't think videos, but a few lives. I think I did it once in a video. And of course that video didn't go anywhere, just like this one probably won't. We need to pay attention to what our elected officials are doing, what they're setting in motion. Um, I go through this intersection a lot in Santa Barbara, my hometown. And it's the intersection of Las Positas and State Street. And there's a row of flags right there that some people, some hippies put up. There used to be a lot of just Ukrainian flags, and I think they caught heat. So then they started sticking other flags there. But you'll see an old man right there always waving the Ukrainian flag. I noticed the other day he had the Ukrainian as well as the American flag on his shoulder. He's walking back and forth. It really irritates me when I see that, and I'm going to tell you why. We are the ones that started that war, and everything was set in motion, has been in motion for a very long time. And because it wasn't, because the mainstream media doesn't care about keeping Americans aware of what's going on, because they're not a watchdog for the people, they've become a puppet for a party. No one's really been paying attention. When Gorbachev was the head of the USSR, Soviet Union, and he came to an agreement with the West, specifically the United States, a humongous part of the deal was that NATO would not come near Russia, wouldn't push up into the former satellite countries of Russia, of the Soviet Union. And they agreed to that. Slowly but surely, the United States, under the guise of NATO, has been pushing closer and closer and closer. Imagine if China and or Russia convinced everyone on our borders, Canada, Mexico, and all the way down into South America, to become their allies and to place some of their strategic arms on those countries' soil directed at us. Would the United States stand for it? Would the people, would the Americans themselves stand for it? No, absolutely not. And yet we sat quiet while Russia kept warning us, stop coming so close. Stop coming close. Mainstream media didn't hold our elected officials accountable to for the agreement that was made with Gorbachev. Um, I love this country. Um, I know that there's no other system, in my belief, there's no other system in any country where you can come from. And I always give the example for me. I always give is Oprah Winfrey. She grew up in a home that didn't have a bathroom. She had to go to an outhouse, and she's a billionaire. How many other countries can really do that? And she's not by herself. There's many people in this country that were born into absolute poverty who are millionaires. So we have opportunities, but yet our country is it was slowly declining. Now it's in rapid decline. Our morals, while maybe individually people's morals haven't changed much, people support policies that are so against their own morals that it's extremely confusing. You know, I have a friend of mine that lives in another part of the country, and he was telling me about how where he lives, you can get a two-bedroom house with a front and backyard for $900 a month, right? And without hesitation, I told him, "Well, that's because you still live in America. I'm over here in California. I don't know where I'm living anymore. We got this socialist slash communist agenda that it's almost unbearable. We spend money in California. What are we, the fourth largest economy in the world? We bounce back between the fourth and the seventh largest economy in the world, bigger than most countries' economy, and we're in the red. We're broke. Our streets, our bridges, our highways falling apart. Our schools are so far behind when we're ranked state by state. Not even mentioning against other uh, developed nations. Um, I think it's very important, man. A lot of people aren't going to like this because they're going to think, oh, well, Dubs is a conservative. I'm not speaking of conservatism right now. I'm speaking of being an American. People are going to say, oh, I thought you're Mexican. I am. I'm a Mexican born here. And these are the things that divide people and blind people to where things like this can continue to happen. We should not be gearing up for a war with any country. The last administration, we didn't drop one bomb. It was the first time that there was an administration in the United States that didn't drop a bomb for about 30 years, I believe it was. I don't know the actual number. Look it up. Under every other president, we bombed somebody. The fact that we have an economy so bad, cost of living so high, and yet they're willing to throw money into our war machine to engage with other countries that don't even want a shooting war, but are going to defend themselves. These things got to concern people. It can't just be me. This is the reason why when people ask me, "Hey Dubs, did you watch this? Did you watch that?" Nah, I don't watch TV at all. It's all about programming at this point. Um, it just really trips me out that I can have lived the life that I lived, to have a to have been convicted of murder, sentenced to life by the grace of God. Some laws changed. I was given a second chance at life. For me to have lived in such a brutal life, to have engaged in horrible acts of violence against other human beings, for me to have the compassion to no longer hate anybody, for me to care so much about so many people that don't know me, and to come back out into a world where people are completely blind to what's really going on, it's amazing. People are they're so much more into their favorite celebrity and what's going on IG and TikTok, that they don't see that we are in some serious, serious trouble. Is it the end? No, it's not. We have elections coming up soon. Hopefully, hopefully, a war won't be started in order to keep a specific party in office. Imagine that. People need to pay attention to what's going on. And if you don't like it, write your local congressman or congressperson, let me say, assembly person, whatever. Whoever's in Washington supposedly representing your district, your area, your state, your county, whatever it is, let them know. If you want to get reelected, stop it. Let's fix what we got going on here. Let's fix our problems. It's crazy. But anyways, that's my video today. Um, if you liked it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. But this was a suggestion, and this is the kind of stuff I'm very passionate about. We cannot be blind no more, man. But I said what I had to say. And everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out.